Hello, my name is Peter Milton and I am the developer of Time Chainage. This is the second in a three-part tutorial on formatting a time chainage chart, in which we look at the chart setup dialog and all of its options. In part 1 we looked at the first 4 tabs in the chart setup dialog. In this video we will examine 4 more. Right, let's get started. I have a project open in Time Chainage that currently has the formatting that we set in part 1. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, then don't forget to do so. First, we need to briefly discuss the use of global and local chainages in Time Chainage. You can have several local chainage datums in a Time Chainage project, and they are established in the work breakdown structure form. I will quickly show you. We open the WBS form from the button on the toolbar. I have established a number of local chainage datums, including ones for the 3 tunnel drives and the shaft works. For tunnel drive A to B, for example, the local datum is set at global chainage 564 meters. Now remember that chainage. Returning to the main form, we see that drive A to B starts at chainage 0 on the chart and extends to around 880 meters. Notice also that for this layout, the global chainage checkbox is not ticked. That means local chainages are being shown. If we check the box, then global chainages are shown. Now the activity starts at chainage 564 meters on the chart, which is where the local datum is set at, and finishes at about 440 meters. Let's open the chart setup dialog and look at the options. We get there by going to the Format menu and selecting Chart Setup. We open the Global Local tab, and there are the 2 options of showing global or local chainages. This is a repeat of the options shown in the main form. It is now set at global. That is because we changed it in the main form by checking the global chainages box. Let's set it back to local chainages. By default, any free text and chainage milestones will be hidden when local chainages are shown. This is because for both features, you specify a global chainage as the location for them. They will then be shown in the incorrect location on the chart if local chainages are specified. There is a separate video on global and local chainages. Please view it if you think it could be of interest to you. We will return to the main form and select another layout before looking at the next tab. I will select the layout called Full Project WBS Styles. Now we will return to the Chart Setup dialog by opening the Format menu and selecting Chart Setup. And we will open the Early Late Dates tab. Here you can select to show early dates, late dates, or both. This option will clearly only work if you have a properly constructed planned schedule with relationships. The early dates option is the usual view, showing the earliest possible dates for all activities. The late dates option shows the latest date for each activity that will not impact the finish date of the project as a whole. For critical path activities, the early and late dates are the same. For this example, I will show both sets of dates and then exit the dialog. As can be seen, the tunnel drives A to B and B to C have some float. The secondary lining from C to A has quite a lot of float, as does the finishing works and shaft A and B. Structures East and West have the most float of all. The works involved in drive D to C are critical, and for these tasks the late dates are the same as the early dates. We will return to the Chart Setup dialog and uncheck the Show Late Dates box. Next we will open the Logic Links tab. Here we can show or hide activity logic links and set a couple of parameters. First we will check the Show Logic Links box. Then we can choose the line width and colour. Let's make the width 2 pixels Whenever you see a small colour box like this one in time chainage, you can click on it to open a dialog to allow you to choose a colour. We will select a colour of black. There are then two link styles. One consists of a single straight line between the activities, and the second one is made up of horizontal and vertical lines. We will leave it on straight lines for this example. We will exit the dialog to see how it looks. The logic link lines can be seen where the activities are in different locations, but it is not so clear when the end of a predecessor is in the same location and time spot as the successor start. You can adjust the screen size arrow from the Project Preferences section of the project form. You may not want to show relationship lines on a time chainage you are issuing to others, but sometimes it can be helpful to you as the planner when you are developing the schedule. Let's return to the Chart Setup dialog and open the Images tab. Here we can add up to 3 images to show on the chart. I will show a photo, but they can be any kind of image. They just need to be in a JPEG or Windows bitmap format. First we import the image. We click on the Import button for image 1. Navigate to where we have the image and then select it. I will select image 2. Then we click the Open button. Note how the image file name and path is displayed, so you know that an image has been selected. We then have to tell time chainage where on the chart we want to show the image and what size to show it. I want it near the left hand side and not covering any essential activities. We will set the chainage of the left side of the image to be 200 meters. The top of the image will be at the 7th of July 2025. The image will be displayed 5 centimeters wide. I have the Maintain Aspect Ratio option turned on, so the height will be automatically set. We then check the Show Image tick box. If we want to clear an image, then we would press the Reset button. Let's exit the dialog to see the chart. Well, there's no image here. To see the image, we need to go to the print preview. To get there, we go to the File menu and select Print Preview. Now we can see the image. Let's return to the main form. We can save the changes we make in the Chart Setup dialog in a layout. We have a layout open called For Project WBS Styles. To save the formatting options to this layout, we just press the Save Layout button on the toolbar. Well, that was part 2 of our deep dive into the Chart Setup dialog. The final part of our tutorial will look at the remaining 4 tabs. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. Time chainage, adding an extra dimension to your schedules.